These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Wednesday, October 4th, late at night. I had a long day. I was at Celtics practice again, which we'll get into. But we're here. Celtics are back. There haven't even been any games yet, and they're so back. And obviously this is coming from me as a guy who's been at practice, so I'm like happy to be there. But in general, quotes. Twitter is filled with Celtics quotes again, right? The timeline, the SEO, YouTube, everything. It's Celtics, especially, and not that this applies to us or anybody who listens to us, mainly because you guys are all been sticking with us throughout the summer. But like, New England doesn't have much else to care about right now because the Pats are terrible. The Red Sox didn't make the playoffs. It's Celtics time. But
people, I'll tell you what, they'll take any angle they can to be like the Patriots might win this week.
No.
The Patriots fan base is the most, I don't want to say delusional because it's the wrong word, the least willing to accept that they are not good. Patriots are not good.
Which I kind of respect. Like, I respect the mindset.
I don't. I think it's annoying.
Whatever.
It's like Knicks fans to me. They are creeping like the league's better when we're good territory. It's like, sure. Okay, go to hell. I'll tell you what, though. Yes. Speaking of being back, we've reached Sam listens to the NBA on TNT theme when he's in the car. Season.
Wow. I thought you were going to go, we've listened to Sam listens to NBA podcast season, not
Well, I'll listen all year round if they have stuff. Like Bill Simmons was doing stuff in the summer, but he took a month off. I didn't have anything to do.
That's what I'm saying. I listened to Zach Lowe yesterday. I listened to Front Office Show today. I listened to Joe Mazzulla on the JJ Redick pod today, which we'll get into later. The NBA is so back. This is also just to pump it up here. I don't even know if Sam saw it. 1,400 subscribers for the channel. Oh yeah, hit the mark.
I saw 1,400, and then I looked later in the day, and it was 1.39 again.
Oh no, did we bump back down? We're around 1.4. Hopefully, I don't look like an idiot. I checked right before we did something. Sam, Bozo mode, 1,401. Little
hey.
So we appreciate y'all. I remember we jumped on the podcast like 2 shows ago, and we were like, "Yeah, maybe we'll hit 1,400 by the start of the season." You guys just said, "Now we got you." Fans tapping us up saying we got you guys. Now maybe we say let's hit 1,500 before the start of the season. Maybe that's too lofty. Maybe I don't care. Help.
We have 2 weeks, two.
I don't even know.
3 weeks exactly.
Sam can't speak. Start the show. But yeah, no, seriously, appreciate y'all for tuning in throughout the summer because now we have real Celtics content. I know Sam's pumped. I know I'm pumped.
I'm pumped.
It is. I like Christmas. Sam don't care. This is truly the most wonderful time of the year. I'll back you there.
No, it is.
Maybe mine is playoffs.
Christmas.
Like,
who cares? NBA back, best time of the year. Like play the song.
Yeah.
I used to think it was the playoffs. Idiot move by me because the playoffs, while they are awesome, they also suck.
Stress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they legitimately made me miss a day of work this year. Not because I was like emotional. I legitimately got sick because they upset me so drastically.
Which game was that?
That was the Hawks game when Trae Young hit the shot.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think.
That's tough. Also, before we get into it, just thank you for showing love on the Taylor Funk video because we got the funky music at the start when we're glad you guys appreciated us.
You like that? That's like if you've ever seen Spider-Man. I think it's Spider-Man 3, and they're in the Daily Bugle, and Hoffman is pitching creative ideas to Jameson, and he's like, Daily Bugle, it's hip, it's now, it's wow, and it's the stupidest thing ever, but it's their idea of being creative. That was me being like, we should put the electric slide.
Yeah, and I had to throw them off. I had to do a record scratch. I had to throw people off.
Yeah, I checked this morning when I woke up, and I was like, he didn't do it. And I was like, he did it. He did it.
That was the effect. I really wanted to get you, but I'm glad I got the people too. All right, let's actually get into Celtics stuff. And we can start with me going to Celtics practice. It's cool. I mean, I will say first and foremost, I've had like some people who have watched the show for a long time. Burner Celtics and It's Gear. 2 people like OG fans of the show both message me on Twitter and say, this is dope. Look at you. So like, appreciate you two if you still listen,
Celtics
regardless. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
He recognized me one day. I was on the street and he was like,
that's gotta be
I was like, what is going on?
That's got to be very cool. That's got to be a
I was
surreal
with my
experience.
dad. He was like, "Damn, like you're actually doing stuff up there."
Get the clout.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, Celtics practice very cool. It's basically just go to the Auerbach Center. They throw us up in the press room, in the media room, whatever. We wait, and then there's this whole thing. So the Celtics don't like want the media watching practice because they don't want videos out of the actual practice. So they're always late, which is what it is. But I chill there, whatever we do work. Jay King came in today, said, "What's up, fuckers?" and just entered the room with a bang. But they do this thing when they're ready for us. There's a curtain and they just slowly lift the curtain up. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's time. It's time." And everyone just like scurries to the window. Then they go down to
They
the
really
court.
treat you like children.
Yes, no, absolutely. But it's cool. It's
I'd
fun.
love
Everyone
to be
there
treated
is
like
fun.
a child. Someday.
No, it's good though. It's good. It's fun to hear the players. And like we said a million times in the intro, it's just so good to be back. It's just so good for Celtics basketball to be right around the corner. First preseason game is Sunday. Sunday. Do we do a playback for the preseason game? Is it home? I might be there. If not,
It's home.
If it okay, then I'll probably be there. First road preseason game though. Playback.
Maybe we'll do a playback.
Maybe I have to do some playback. Go follow us on playback, please. please.
We keep asking, dude. Nobody's doing it.
Man, we're asking at the beginning of the show now. But yeah, go check us out on playback.
While we're at it, HBTC on SeatGeek if you want to go to games.
Yeah,
Save
might as well check it out. Check it out.
We have anything else?
I don't think so. If you're watching on CLNS, subscribe to How About Them Celtics. And check out the shorts. I'm trying to post some clips.
Yes, Jack actually doing an excellent job kind of with the shorts. He's posting them to YouTube. Nowhere else.
And TikTok.
Okay, TikTok. All right.
Not Facebook. I need to do Facebook. I know you're big on Facebook. I never use Facebook, so I always forget. But I'll try to remember Facebook. Text me.
I just think it's easy for them to like pop off there.
Probably.
As they are anywhere. I mean, especially things like the shorts, whatever. You people don't need to hear this.
All right. Let's get into Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday had his introductory press conference for the Celtics. Yes, on Wednesday. I was there for it. It was part of media. But a lot of good stuff. Him, Brad Stevens, Wick, Pags, all on the panel. What are you laughing at? Because I burped in the middle of my thing?
No, I'm laughing at the show sheet.
What is it? What is it?
Brad Stevens smiling like an idiot.
He was, and let's lead with that. Brad Stevens
sure was.
Even before like all the memes of him smiling while Drew's talking, when they were getting on stage, I don't know if it caught it. Yeah, I don't know if they caught this, but they were going up to stage and Brad's just looking at Jrue. He's like, "Yeah, look at this, look at it go!" Like he's just like he's the biggest fan in the world. Brad is the only person on planet Earth who is allowed to simultaneously be a fan of the Celtics and be a part of the Celtics. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he is a fan running the Celtics. Especially when you look at the context. Like I put this as the lead in my article that I wrote for Celtics blog. On media day, Brad Stevens was talking and he said, let me find it here. "I tried to get Jrue Holiday on the Celtics since I've been the coach. I know I would go into Danny Ainge's office every year and be like, 'Hey, can we get Jrue Holiday?' Dude's just living his dream. He's just living out his own fantasy. He is hyped for Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday's hyped for the Celtics. Jrue Holiday said that, when I got to Portland, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I sneakily hoped that it would be here, but I didn't want to get my hopes up and get my dreams crushed, but it worked out. Everyone wants Jrue to be in Boston. Jrue wants Jrue to be in Boston. It's just vibes are very, very high in regard to Jrue Holiday with the Celtics.
It seems like it. He definitely has arrived with a chip on his shoulder. His wife took to social media today to reveal how things were found out on their end. So apparently they had no warning, no conversation that he could be traded. And he woke up from a nap and he was no longer on the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, remember, he was not immediately traded to the Celtics. It was, you're not on the Bucks anymore. You're a Trailblazer, but you won't play there. So you literally don't know where you're going next. Good luck. I think it is really tough from a personal perspective. She talks about their kids having made friends in school. He talked about this. He talked about this on the podium today. He was like, it was a whirlwind. It's tough when you've, put down roots in the community, friends, your kids have friends, they're in school. I mean, this kid's probably literally started school, last month? So they're going to have to either stay there and be away from him or whatever. I mean, it is part of being an NBA player. because, I mean, we can't complain about this too much because the Celtics literally traded 2 guys in that deal out of nowhere too. Maybe not out of nowhere for Brogdon, but Rob was probably out of nowhere. Tough for Rob. Rob, who said Scoot Henderson's really fast today.
Yeah, with some choice words, he did. No, yeah, Jrue's hyped. He said he's very excited to be in Boston. He said Portland, bless me, they did a great job. Joe Cronin did a great job of communicating it, which is just interesting after the Dame situation.
Yeah, Joe
and how that went
Cronin,
down.
turns out he's not the devil.
Right? Who would have thought? Said everyone has been gracious so far. Quiz for you, Sam. Maybe you saw my tweet. Jrue Holiday, 3 out of the past 4 years, won the Teammate of the Year award. Who was the other 4th person?
Grant.
Well, yes, Damian Lillard.
Ah,
Very funny. Very funny. Jrue Holiday grew up in LA as a Lakers fan, so there was that. But he said, my family is probably a bit hurt, but this is a blue collar town. They love people who work hard. I'm gonna do that. Right.
Yeah.
Referenced the multiple times he's played Boston in the playoffs, played him with the Bucks, obviously. Also played the Big 3 Celtics with the Sixers.
The Uncut Gem series.
Yep. Said it was a very easy decision that this would be one of the places that I would have loved to come to, which is also very cool. Some other tidbits, and we don't have to drone on about the entire press conference. Just a couple of other things that were interesting from it that we can talk about. One, Wick and Pags were both very animated, both very excited about Jrue Holiday and this group of Celtics players. Said this was the best practice we've ever watched. Talked about how intense it was. Pags said, Paul Pierce said, I've never seen a practice go this hard and work this hard and run this fast for this long. So Celtics are amped to get the season going. That's coming from the truth.
I'm amped. Put me out there.
Yeah.
We talked about this with Justin. One of us
go check out Celtics Lab. And then the last thing was Jrue Holiday talking about Jaylen Brown, saying how good of a player he is, how he's one of the toughest guys he's guarded. And Pag saying, I've never seen Jaylen Brown get stopped on a drive in practice before, and he ran into a brick wall today in Jrue Holiday. And Jrue was like, yeah, I'm a pretty strong guy, but that dude's strong as fuck. So just some cool tidbits from Celtics and the Celtics crowd.
I'll tell you what,
in the Jrue Holiday conference.
The sheer excitement, not necessarily from the fan base, but from everybody in the organization about this Jrue Holiday trade has made me feel a lot better about it. I don't want to say that I was ever out on it, because I wasn't, but I was not all the way in. Like, I was like, okay, this could be not as great
all the
as
way
everybody
in?
thinks.
Are you all the way in now?
I'm roped in. They haven't played a game yet, not even a preseason game, but I'm all the way in. I would like to see Jrue Holiday take the floor.
Sir.
I'm excited about what he's going to bring to the team. Just the sheer, everybody's so happy he's on the Celtics is speaking great volume to me.
I'm amped. I've been in on the Jrue Holiday trade.
Well,
all this got me more.
In my defense, I was emotionally invested last week when the Dame trade first happened, and we talked to Cam. And then I kind of sat and thought for a bit, and I was like, well, maybe he's old and on the smaller side and relies on defensive ability. But I'm all the way back in.
Very in. Would. Love. That's my favorite thing. Now that's the new, like, whenever I like adopted sayings that you say sometimes, I just say that in everyday life now. I just go would, and I say it like that too, like there's an actual microphone in front of me, but there's not. But anyways,
you have to.
I know.
I think of like things I say in everyday life. I say fire all the time. I actually don't think I say fire that much.
A couple years ago, I said dead ass a lot, like, and it got to the point where I said it around the house so much. It was like during COVID because I was like back home. My mom came back home from work one day and he goes, Jack, I said dead ass in conversation with my boss today. I said, Mom, what the fuck is wrong with you? But okay. Jrue Holiday press conference. If you want to see the whole thing, go check it out on CLNS's channel. Find it. You can find it on Twitter. I wrote about it for Celtics blog. Yeah, don't take your pick. Watch it on CLNS. But we appreciate you.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. It absolutely is. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Next thing, at practice today, Joe Mazzulla spoke with the media after practice. Said he emailed former Celtics players, among other things. And again, if you'd like to see the whole interviews, go check it out. But the biggest storyline came from it. Joe Mazzulla emailed former Celtics players saying, come anytime you want. Come to practice, come to games, come to everything. Like, just be around the team. Basically said, I sent an email out to all Celtics former players because I feel like it's important that we share in this experience together. They started the tradition. They kept it going. And now it's our responsibility to keep responsibility as an organization, to keep it alive. Other tidbits that were important from it. Said when you don't see them all the time, you don't get that connection to the past. The only past we have is the banners alone. The past should be the banners, but it should be the people as well. Said he compared it to college, how NBA players always go back to their college, blah, blah, blah. I said he appreciated Pierce being here. He wants to create a brotherhood, that environment. He said there could be an issue if it's not a normal thing. And if it's just like a one-off, because then it's just for attention, or if it's just, about this player. But he said, if we normalize it and there are people around all the time and not just at a game 7 and not just at a first playoff game, then it becomes like we're doing this together. So I wanted to break that barrier of like once in a while and like all the time, anytime, whether it's on the team playing dinner, we should have that open environment. So he's all in on, if you are a Celtic, you are a Celtic. Come in, help us build this, which is something I assume you are very in on, because that is right up your alley.
Yeah, I really love this from Joe. I think this is awesome. I think it's a bit out of character for Joe. Not necessarily so much that he is
Joe's different. Joe
anti stuff, but he's just very quiet, reserved. And he said
much.
this himself, that he's a bit
Opening up.
introverted when he talked to Redick today. I guess we can kind of loop those together, or we can save it. It doesn't matter. It's on the sheet.
Yeah.
I really love that from Joe. I just think it's a great thing. I think the Celtics have so many great players that have come through and been a part of the team and helped them win championships and have been Hall of Fame, all-star caliber players.
Yep.
That they could absolutely give these guys something extra to maybe even the newer guys, maybe a Jordan Walsh, maybe Jrue Holiday just getting here. I don't even know if Jrue Holiday really needs the boost because he's been around the environment so much in the playoffs, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But these guys that have not been here that long, to see the lasting effects that being a part of the Celtics organization has had on many, many people, could be such a great boost, a great lesson, anything to get them more galvanized is great. And to bring people together. I think it's a really cool angle from Joe. And I'm surprised that they haven't pushed something like this sooner.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's good for him. Already seeing the effect. Obviously, Paul Pierce was at practice on Wednesday. Eddie House, Leon Poe, and Satch Sanders were all there the day before. And you're seeing some players respond to the quote on Twitter. Jay King tweeted the quote. Jared Sullinger retweeted it saying facts. Jonas Jerebko commented with a clover emoji, and Evan Turner confirmed in the replies that he did receive the email. So
I love
seeing some former Celtics in Boston. I do too.
Speaking of Jonas Jerebko, quick thing. So I have been throwing on full-length old Celtics games. Just every once in a while. I'm getting ready. I told you we're back. And one that popped up yesterday was that game 3 against Atlanta in 2016, where he starts the game with just a massive putback slam. And I was like, wow, like the Celtics really were in a playoff series and won games with Jonas Jerebko starting. Not to say that he was bad, but just like thinking about what they have now and how different it is. I love Jonas Jerebko. He was great when he was with the Celtics, and he was a great Celtic. Always played hard. He gave it his all. Like he is somebody that kind of embodies that hard-nosed style where he's working out there and earning those minutes and earning the respect of the fans. Loved him.
Yes.
But it was just funny that he was one of the people that chimed in.
Agree. But in on Joe doing this, we appreciate it. And let's just stick with Joe here and talk about his appearance on the Old Man in the 3 with JJ Redick and Tommy Alter, but it was just JJ today. JJ talked with Joe. This was before the Jrue Holiday trade, so they didn't directly talk about the Jrue Holiday trade. But my biggest takeaway from it, because we're not going to go over the whole interview, but my biggest takeaway, Joe is just a lot more comfortable. He just seems very open, very willing to talk, and he talked very earnestly about when I got this job, I did not know what the fuck I was doing. Like he just straight up said, I didn't know what I was doing. I told the players I didn't know what I was doing. I told them I was going to make mistakes. And it was important for me to tell them, hey, I'm learning on the fly. You guys are amazing. You guys will guide my choices, which is just like, maybe some Celtics fans sit there and say, oh, this was a bad choice. No one's fully ready to be a head coach. Even if they had gone out there and hired the most perfect assistant coach in the world, no one's ready. Look at Ime Udoka when he started last year. They sucked. They were bad. They were objectively bad when he started. And you could sit there and say, oh, go hire a former coach. Yeah, hire Frank Vogel, hire all these people, whatever. They wanted somebody who could be on the Celtics and be with the Celtics for a long time, that had a connection with the players, and they valued that relationship with the players and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown more than just getting a guy, right? Joe Mazzulla was who that was. He talked about his journey to get there. And I thought it was really great how open he was and like emotionally aware he was when he got the job, and how willing he was to talk about that with JJ Redick.
I thought Mazzulla's appearance on Redick was spectacular.
It was
like
awesome.
You said, he was so willing to talk. When you sent it to the Celtics blog chat yesterday or Monday, I joked. I was like, oh, it's going to be awesome. Like, just one word answers for an hour of him talking to Redick. There was some great back and forth between him and Redick. I love Redick so much because he truly lives and breathes basketball. Like, it's his everything. So when he's talking about it passionately with Joe Mazzulla, you really can see that love come out of Mazzulla, which is not in his character. At least last year it wasn't. Now it's starting to kind of come out where he's a very friendly guy, really wants everybody to be togetherness, motivated, you name it. The most interesting, two things interesting that stuck out to me. He talks about, this will be quick. He talks about what Porzingis adds to the team, and he was very sure to mention how he's going to affect them at the end of games, being better in clutch games, because they were terrible in clutch games. And Joe attributed that to them not being able to control the momentum, not being able to get inside, not being able to get to the free throw line. And I think Porzingis being there is going to help it. It's something I've said all summer. Ever since they landed him, I was like, perfect. They can post up. They can make defenses sweat that way. They can have a more diverse offensive attack when the seconds are ticking down at the end of the fourth quarter. Awesome. Glad we're aligned, Joe. If you need advice, we're here. Second thing, he talked about the threes. Threes were interesting to me. I don't disagree with the whole math thing. You listen to this too, so you know what I'm talking about. Joe talks about, like, literally there are times where he felt like they get out math.
He referenced the Brooklyn game specifically, saying like, yeah, we started great. We shot like 10 of 14 on layups to start the game, and they shot 2 of 10 from threes. And when that happened, I knew we were screwed because they were going to keep shooting, and we were going to get comfortable with shots that we weren't going to get consistently. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
So if I could have asked him a follow-up in that situation, this is not to poke holes at his philosophy, because, I mean, whatever. He gave a great explanation. You can see where he's coming from in that sense. And he also said they might not heavily lean on it this year. Eyeball emoji to that. How does the decision to shoot more threes rather than twos affect momentum? And this is something I've talked about with you before, because we've gone back and forth on this. Him and Redick discuss a moment in Redick's career where Redick was like, yeah, we looked up and this team was like outscoring us just because they were taking more threes. Yes, but also you miss more threes. So that's less possessions that you walk away with a basket, meaning it's easier for the other team to string together runs. I feel like that's going to affect momentum. Yeah. I feel like that is why the mathematic approach to basketball is imperfect. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means there is a reason why it doesn't always work.
No, I think that plays a part in it. I just think I think in that Nets game specifically, it didn't matter as much because like it was just the shots they were getting. Like I don't think shooting more threes was the point he was making. I think the point he was making was we got too comfortable taking just layups because they were so easy. And then obviously the Nets are going to adjust to getting open layups at halftime, right? But I do think there is a point.
What my thought was, it was just like,
no, I know.
How
in the grand scheme of things
view this. Like, I'm curious what his take would be on that.
Yeah. And I think the momentum thing was important. And something else, excuse me, sorry, Joe talked about was JJ kept referencing like, "Oh yeah, I sat on your jujitsu session with your coach," which was cool. It's like it's fun that he did that, and it's fun that
Joe's
Joe
a
does
nut
that.
job, dude.
And Joe, they talked about how like the point at which you are closest to like winning is also the easiest time for you to lose. And Joe basically phrased it as if like it's because of the mindset both teams are in. One team is just trying to stay alive while the other team is in survival mode. And usually when one team's in survival mode and the other one's just like hanging on, the team in survival mode is going to win because they're going to do whatever it takes. And so as much as it's easy to say, well, to just be in survival mode all the time, like it's just not how like life works, right? Like if you are winning by a lot, you are naturally going to like take your foot off the gas or change the way you play. And yes, the Celtics need to be better at doing that. And Joe obviously said that like that is something we are actively trying to be better at. But like it was just interesting to hear him talk about it from less of a purely basketball perspective and more of a just like a general, this is the mindset of one team at that point, and this is the mindset of another, person or team at that point, and that is why stuff happens the way it does. And as much as it was a Celtics issue a lot last year, like, and that's what we noticed it as, it happened all around the league. Like that's just a common thing that happens. Not that that's not, again, not an excuse. And Joe did say the Celtics need to be better at it, but I just thought it was interesting the way he approached the conversation.
You know what? One of my favorite takeaways from the Mazzulla thing today is him talking to Redick about how he got the rap of being like extremely offensive minded. And it's because he was like, when I was a player, I was so shit at offense.
I said this after media day.
All I could do is play defense. So I just kind of assumed everybody was like that. And like, you don't have to tell people to play defense. He's like, I kind of learned, and like, we're going to be like, play defense now.
Yeah, that's fire. I enjoy that. And he was like that. Joe was like, yeah, that's actually like the literal opposite of who I am as a coach. I just kind of thought everyone knew we would play defense because we've been a top 5.
I thought that was understood. Like,
yeah,
that's
literally.
Step one.
I also liked listening to Joe talk about how he was trying to convince JJ to join the staff last summer. That was cool.
He was when they were at golf, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm playing golf next week," and Mazzulla's soul left his body.
Very fun. Very fun. But yeah, that's the Joe Mazzulla interview. Go check it out. I'm hyped about Joe this year. I truly think, and not to jinx anything, I think Joe has a much better grasp on it. I think the Celtics are completely locked in. Like, I'm not saying they're going to be perfect out the gates, even though I know you would want them to be. However,
they should go 82-0.
I think the Celtics are going to be really damn good this year. Like,
right.
Everything is coming into place.
So I'm going to say something.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm all the way on the Kool-Aid. I think that Joe Mazzulla is being set up to be the next great NBA coach.
Ooh.
He's starting very young. He is somebody that worked his way up through the organization, much like the man down in Miami, Spoelstra. I also think Popovich did a similar thing in San Antonio.
Maybe.
Could be wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that he was handpicked by Stevens.
And Tatum.
I just think a lot of the storylines are there. Now you're starting to see him be more personable. He's not somebody that's hard-headed and doesn't think he can make mistakes.
Yes.
Listening to him talk. Now, listen, I know Ben Simmons went on this podcast last year and was like, I'm back. And people believed it. But Joe could be one of the next great coaches. People
you want to know,
not going to be happy about that.
No, but do you want to know what did it for me? I saw somebody in our comments. I think it was Philip, or maybe it wasn't. Somebody in our YouTube comments said, I'm like more in on Joe after listening to the past few days. What did it for me is when they were talking about how he went from college to the NBA and to the G League, all that stuff. And he goes, JJ, like, so you weren't doing anything special? He goes, no, it was about who I know in the relationships. And he goes, I was doing a good job, but I think the key thing is I am able to build relationships. And like, he's like, I'm good at that. And I truly think that's important. And not to like compare him directly to a coach, but like, look at Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is phenomenal at knowing his players, knowing what he has, and doing what he needs to do to make them the best. There was one point in time he's like, here, Andre, you draw up a play. And people clowned him for it. That's because he trusts his guys. He knows exactly what is going through their heads. And I'm not saying Joe's going to be the next Steve Kerr.
Imagine Mazzulla did that.
Yeah, right. But I do think there is something to be said about a guy who is so in tune with his players and able to build those relationships that I think is really important moving forward. I'm very high on Joe heading into this season. I think he's going to do a real good job.
Me too. I'm all the way in. I also love a local guy. So
True.
all in.
We
literally play basketball in a gym named after someone in his family. So
I was gonna say. All right, let's get into Lamar Stevens. You wrote about it, so hit me.
Yeah, so yesterday, Lamar Stevens chatted with all the fellas at Media Day and the ladies, and he had some things to say. He talked about his decision to join the Celtics, and he cited Boston's winning culture, which is awesome. I really like when guys say that. I love when they stroke my ego as a Celtics fan, and good job, Lamar. Good first step. I also thought his perspective was very interesting and how he can help the Celtics become, or not even become, carry over the defensive intensity, the identity that they've built for themselves, despite losing Smart and both Williams. He said, yeah, I think I can step right into that. You know, adding Jrue on the defensive end and me, I feel like those are roles that we can fill right in. I'm excited for the opportunity and to bring what I can bring to the team and hopefully uplift us. Our main goal is to win each day, and I think I can help with that. He also talked about his three-point shooting, which kind of the Achilles heel. Shot 16% as a rookie in 2020-21. But each year of his pro career, he has improved the shooting. 2 years ago, the year the Celtics made the finals, he shot 27.7. Last year, 31.6. And he mentioned he thinks he's worked on it and improved it again. He's excited to show it. It's just kind of weird that he's not technically on the team yet. Really.
Yeah, that is weird. I said this in the Celtics Lab podcast, which if you haven't listened to, go listen to it. I'm so in on Lamar Stevens. And I know that's been like the theme of the show so far. It's like we're in, but like Lamar Stevens is an NBA player. He started NBA games last year, a significant amount.
On
like,
a good team.
On a good team. He's very
Somebody
good.
in our comments section said he played, or maybe it was not in our comments, it was on my article. I don't know which one. Somebody commented on something that I contributed to and said he played 1,000 minutes for a very good Cavs team. There's no reason why he should just be getting training camp deals. Everything you're kind of saying.
He is good. I'm working on a piece highlighting that, and it will be out in the coming weeks. I'm waiting for him to officially make the team.
Yeah, that would suck if he's not.
That's why I'm like delaying. But I'm very high on Lamar Stevens. I'm very hyped to hear that he believes in himself that way. And spoiler alert for the article, he is a very good leader. Like I'll put it that way, and you'll get your evidence. He is a guy who will come in and he will not hold back. I'll put it this way: he'll not hold back in a Grant way, but not in a Grant way, if that makes sense. Like he will talk to Tatum and Brown about stuff. He will do all this stuff, but it won't be in the annoying thinks he's better than he is way. And I love Grant Williams, but like that's the vibe it came off as times. Lamar Stevens is just gonna go at them in practice, and he's gonna be a guy. I heard something somewhere that he like went at Donovan Mitchell at one point last year. Like Donovan Mitchell wasn't locking on defense. Lamar Stevens pulls him aside and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he just like talk shit to him on the bench. Donovan Mitchell spent the rest of the game like locked in. So high on Lamar Stevens. I think he'll play significant minutes for the Celtics team this year. I think he is the best wing they have off the bench next to Sam Hauser. Those two hand in hand. Spider-Man meme is best Celtics wings, whatever. I'm in on Lamar Stevens. I think he'll be very good, and I'm very excited to watch him in Celtics uniform.
So if you don't know already, Jack and I are essentially purposefully setting ourselves up to sound like absolute idiots this show. That way people clip it and are like, look how stupid these guys are. Here's a link to their podcast.
We'll own it. Please clip it.
I have said Mazzulla is the next great NBA coach, and Jack has said that Lamar Stevens is the best rotational wing that the Celtics have, which both could be true, but they also could wind up being very wrong. Just to circle back, the comment that I was referencing was on the Celtics blog article. Hurdler17 says, Stevens played over 1,000 minutes on a good playoff team. He's one of the players I'm personally watching. If there is a triple wing lineup with the Jays, he, along with Brissett or Hauser, can provide defense, cutting, or floor spacing value. He's listed at 6'6", 230, and could be a versatile defender even on taller guys, hopefully giving Tatum some breaks on the defensive side of things. But I want Tatum locked in. No days off.
No.
Also, Tatum said he wants to be all defense, so breaks are bad.
Him and Brown commenting on Instagram about it. All right, just
I want to be
rounding
all
up.
Defense. Write the headline.
We'll see. Rounding out practice for the past couple of days. We'll make this a thing for like this season, I guess. We'll try our best. Yeah, for the time being. Best quotes from Celtics practices that we have heard over the past X amount of days. First, Derrick White during his media scrum today at Wednesday's practice said it's much quieter and a lot calmer now that Grant Williams is not here. He was asked about it, but said it. He was asked about players stepping up vocally. He said JT stepped up. Nothing like Grant though, thank God. And he's obviously joking. It's all laughs.
Well, I don't know. They might obviously hate Grant.
I knew you were gonna say some dumb shit like that. Kristaps talked about playing in the post more, said he had to adapt and he did it a lot more during his time in Washington because he didn't like how little he was doing in Dallas. Sam, no, you're very happy about that, and Joe talked about it on the JJ pod. So
very pleased. I'm gonna go swig some more Kool-Aid.
Wenyen said, I do. It's very weird. I don't know what it is. Wenyen Gabriel at practice today said he is happy to be home. Said he had been in contact with Boston. He'd been home a couple times during the summer, done some free agent workouts, and they had him sort of on standby doing wellness checks when the Porzingis trade or some trade happened. And then basically when the Jrue trade went through, he said, "Yep, hopped on the plane that day. Made my way out. They knew it." So
it's the meme of the car on the highway, and then there's the exit sign, and it's just swerving super hard. That was him.
They had him ready.
Found out Jrue Holiday was going to be on the Celtics.
Yep, said he's going to bring all the hustle, defense, all that good stuff. It basically said all the things that you want to hear from a Celtics role player, which is good. Good to hear from Wenyen Gabriel.
They need to get in somebody that like sucks at defense and is just like, I'm going to bring all the hustle at defense.
We'll see.
Like Dame, if they trade for Dame, yeah,
defense.
Yeah,
Gary Washburn.
Gary
Washburn asked Joe about. You said last year you wanted to take 53 games. And Joe goes, "Did I say that? When did I say that?" And then he goes, he basically said, "Oh, well, what I want to do and what we're going to do is very different." And then at practice today, he came back and he said, "Gary, I checked. I never fucking said that." Maybe with less swear words, but just basically said, "Gary, I never said that. What the hell?" And then Joe also said he would fight in the UFC. Also, very good quote from Joe. He went to a UFC fight at the Garden earlier this summer. He was in the corner of a UFC fighter. We actually talked about it in the pod. And great quote from Joe said,
"The fighter win."
No, I don't know. But he basically said,
be bad for my coach take.
He said, "I just like being at Boston Garden. It doesn't have to be basketball. I just like the Garden because it encapsulates what Boston is about." Which is just kind of sick to hear from
best Garden there is. Yeah,
love to see it. So good from Joe. But that's it from the best quotes. Let us know if we missed anything. But
big week for Joe. Like Joe just skyrocketing up the favorite Celtic power rankings. Good for Joe. Needs the PR. I think somebody like sat him in a room and like was like, listen here, buddy.
Well, he said it on the JJ pod. He was like, I was the biggest change and the weirdest thing for me was people giving a fuck who I was. Like people actually knowing who I was and caring. Like I didn't like it. He literally goes, I'm an introvert. I used to come up the service elevator, go to the film room and leave. So I wouldn't.
That's some Eric Spoelstra shit. That was the thing that I was like, wow, like maybe he's like really gonna be a great coach someday.
It was kind of fire. It was kind of fire to see. But all right, let's dive into Derrick White and the fact that it's kind of weird that he hasn't been extended yet. Or is it weird? My thing is, Derrick White is eligible to be extended right now. I don't know the details of what his extension can be. I think he can get up to 3 years, maybe 4. Again, I'm not sure. I'm speculating. I know he can get up at least to 30 mil or can get up to like a high number. And I do know he has till October 23rd, I think, or towards the end of this month. It's the same as the Peyton Pritchard.
Maybe they have to do before opening night.
Something like that to get extended.
I think that's what it is.
Or a day before, something around then. But Derrick White has not been extended. Part of me wonders if it's because they were waiting to see if any moves would shake loose. But even though they didn't know they'd be trading for Jrue, maybe it's like, okay, who can we get back for Brogdon? Because they were like, maybe we have to trade Brogdon, waiting for that. And now that Jrue is in place, maybe those talks will start up as the season gets going. But it also wouldn't surprise me to see them wait on it because he does have 2. Is this his last year? Or does he have 2 years left?
I think he's got 2.
Yeah, so if he has 2 years left, he has this year and next year, so maybe they wait on it and see what happens. But at the same time, during the Jrue press conference, Wick was like, yeah, we're spending. Like, yeah, we're in.
They should
which is good to hear. So I don't know, though. What do you make of the Derrick White contract?
I think they should spit in the face of the new CBA. Challenge it. See if it's for real.
Ooh.
It's like going into prison and fighting the biggest guy.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. I love to hear that ownership wants to spend. I'd love to see it. I think Derrick White's somebody that has proven to be a key part of what the Celtics have going on. I think it's important that they keep him around. He does a little bit of everything. He's reliable. He's one of your favorite guys, and you're not an idiot. As much as I like to say you might be, you're not. So there's good reason why so many smart people like Derrick White. He does a lot of things great shooter, plays good defense. He can create and get to the basket a little bit. There's no reason why the Celtics should lowball him or break balls or anything like that. Because as you can see, it made Grant Williams leave. And now we're all kind of like, damn, like kind of sucks that Grant Williams left.
Well, we are. A lot of people are
we
still
are.
out
The
on
players are
Grant.
not. And the players aren't either. And I'm kind of not like that because I wish Grant was here. I just wish they could have traded him in the Portland trade.
I don't think they could have yet because of dates.
Don't care. It doesn't matter.
Sure. You'd have the depth. If not, you'd still have the center depth. Like that would still help you out. But anyways, last thing before we get into emails, Mike Gorman is not being replaced by Sean Grandre. Reports have indicated. I think this came from Chad Finn of the Globe had it, or somebody else had
and
it.
And then
as well.
NBC Sports Boston did put out official
announcement.
statement.
I think he was at the Auerbach Center today. I'm not sure if it was him.
Mike?
It might not have been. No, not Mike. The new guy. Jrue Carter. Jrue Carter, I believe. I'm just double checking so I get it correct.
Maybe we try and get to him early and befriend him.
Yeah, right. I think his name is Jrue Carter. Let me pull up a picture. I was a bit unprepared, but I knew I had.
That's okay. I put this one on. Essentially, his face is square, and he doesn't have a name that you recognize for
Here he
this
is.
kind of does have a square face. Doesn't have the kind of resume you would expect for this kind of job, right? Like the Celtics job opens.
This is an okay resume. I mean, it's nothing crazy,
Of what?
but well, he won most outstanding collegiate sportscaster a few years ago. I know that's nothing, but like he's got to be pretty good to win the most outstanding. Let me see if I can find some of his calls and we'll react to it.
Okay, we'll go to the review. Yeah, I'm fine with
understand?
that.
Yeah.
And I think the people will actually appreciate this. I will say this. Grandre probably didn't want it. I highly doubt that they
that's probably part of it.
overlooked Grandre in favor of Jrue Carter, with all due respect.
Okay, I found Jrue Carter 2019 Jim Nance award reel. So this is the reel he made to apply for this award all right. Let's go VAR. It's 20 minutes. We're not going to watch all 20 minutes, but we'll pick through and we'll find some calls and hope we don't get copyright struck by this. Here we go. Okay. We have some welcomes. So we can go through a little bit. We can go through a little bit of everything. Okay, let's start with some of his welcomes. Let me just play the video. Let me know if you can hear it. I assume you can.
I hope we get copyright stricken.
Season, but still a lot riding on this one tonight. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the Carrier Dome alongside Syracuse legend and the Hall of Famer Ryan Powell. And Ryan, let's dive right in, starting with Syracuse. Mentioned that major bounce back last weekend. After a season opening loss to Colgate, they robbed Albany 13-5. And the number one reason why,
I don't hate the voice.
He doesn't sound like Brian Anderson. Good point.
He sounds all right.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome inside the women's building. Jrue Carter alongside James Colgan. And James, we said it's Syracuse, an upstart team, maybe on the verge of their first NCAA tournament bid ever. Strong ACC start. Hi, everybody, and welcome inside the Tennessee Ice Pavilion.
Okay, let's see if we can get some calls.
Let's see some plays.
Using her body.
Canane's for the line coming in above 72% on the season. Canane
I
last
to hear
time
him
out
calling
came off
some
the
big
bench,
plays.
31 points.
that's what I'm trying to find.
35 points and 8 rebounds.
That's what I'm trying to find.
At the time.
I'm trying. Hold on, let me go to the timestamps again. Radio play-by-play. Yeah, let's hit radio play-by-play. See if we get anything good there.
Okay.
Welcome back to Spectrum Center in Charlotte for the quarterfinals of the ACC
That's
tournament
O'Shea
in
Brissett.
2019.
Zion.
Syracuse going up
Yeah.
against
Syracuse
big
guy. He's a
bad
Syracuse
Duke,
guy.
the number 5 team in the nation.
Probably knows
The Orange
O'Shea.
are hanging around down by 5, 40-35.
We should have asked
I wanna
Bobby
hear
32 to
about
play
this.
in right.
I feel like Bobby would have
Charlotte,
to take
Syracuse. Hughes has found the
I need to hear
juice.
big calls,
Hughes
though.
is in the house.
Oh my God!
Oh my goodness. Scoring, you know exactly why he's.
Yeah, I need to hear some big calls. I wonder, you know what? I wonder if I can find a Syracuse basketball highlight from that year. Is that the wave? Do I just go straight to the source and find a
I think
Syracuse
this,
basketball?
Should have
I
been
think
planned better by me.
it is, but let me. I'll do one YouTube search and then we'll cut it here for the audio listeners' sake. But
Okay.
I'm curious. While I do this, initial thoughts on his voice, on what
Voice
you've heard.
better than I thought. Again, doesn't sound like Brian Anderson. He doesn't sound like those squeaky play-by-play guys that I typically don't like. I am pleasantly surprised.
Okay, good to hear. All right, so let's go 2018 Syracuse basketball highlights. Let me see if I can find some big plays. I'm just trying to find. Okay, this is if it's not here, it won't be anywhere. This is a 3-minute highlight from Syracuse's game against Ohio State. Let's just see how he is in game. And if it's not him and we don't hear it as him, then we'll call it somewhere else.
Dolezaj gets another three from Syracuse.
It sounds like him.
Finds the bottom of the basket.
Right?
That's not him.
Hughes.
That's not him. We're out. Okay, whatever.
I
We
don't
can't find the
think
highlight.
he would have been on a big game like that.
Well, he was on some ESPN things. I like the voice. We'll see. He's very young, which is crazy. This
Might
was
be good
pointed
for
out in
us.
this. Yeah, this was counted or pointed out in the Celtics blog chat. Interesting to see how he interacts with Scal. That's going to be the interesting part to me. But we'll see.
Yeah, he's
We'll
going to
see.
sit down and Scal's like, all right, first rule. Somebody gets hurt, they're out for the season.
Woo!
Yeah, and you're really excited about it.
But we'll see. Jrue Carter is the new announcer. He's going to be doing road games this year, and it sounds like he could end up replacing Gorman when Gorman retires. That sounds.
You know
like
who gets the shaft in all of this, and means nothing to you, is John Wallach. John Wallach, who is the fill-in radio play-by-play man. So had Grandre gotten the TV job, he would have gotten the radio job. Instead,
Gotcha.
he's been shafted.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see.
Rip.
But shout out to Jrue Carter. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to hear it. Excited isn't the right word. I'm eager to hear it is the better word to see what happens. We'll see. All right, let's check in with our emails. Check in with the emails, and then we can jump into NBA stuff. Switching on over to, I believe we have RJ first as the first emailer of the day. Happy 21st birthday to JD, who is 40 years and 1 day younger than myself. Hopefully it won't take him that long to curb his turnovers. We'll see.
RJ
Happy birthday,
also
JD
in
Davis.
October, baby.
Legend.
Just like me.
There you go. When's your birthday? I don't know your birthday.
28th.
28th. Well, there we go. Philip, quicker version this time. Great pod. Much love. On media day, Joe emphasized defense, but Brad spoke to needing all shooting players of modern NBA. Related to this is that we traded for our two non-shooters from the starting six and Robin Smart, while Walsh's first assignment was to shoot threes as often as possible. Do you see our identity with the new look Celtics as defense first, three launching team? Quicker follow-up. Do you agree that 3-and-D is the new winning formula? P.S. Always feel free to ignore these questions if they don't make it for good material. We will never ignore you, Philip. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you reaching out and caring.
Absolutely. Quick answer to your quick follow-up. 3-and-D winning formula? Yes, it just is in today's NBA. And I think the Celtics will take an emphasis on threes, but I don't know if it's as much of they'll take more threes as it's everybody can take more threes. The entire team can shoot this year, which is important because it spaces the floor. And if anything, it could open up opportunities for more layups because the floor is just spaced more. So guys will have
layups
driving
are
lanes.
bad.
No,
they are bad.
Don't twist words. Don't do what you're doing. You're a rat. It'll open the floor more, I think, and you'll get Porzingis in the post with guys spacing the floor for threes. And defensively, as we've talked about with Joe, now players will know to play defense because Joe will tell them to play defense. But yeah, layups are bad. You're right. My bad.
I think so. One thing that I noticed, and I mentioned I've been watching these old games. It's weird as hell seeing guys spot up inside the 3-point line. Like, it's so weird. They're doing the same type of ball movement, swinging the ball around, creating shots, kicking it out, but just not as far.
When is this? We're in the old games, you mean?
Yeah, just like old games from like 10 years ago. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy how much differently teams play the game now. I don't know how much I like it. I think the older games are more fun to watch because guys are different. Like Philip mentions, it's literally like 3-and-D, you're in. Like, that's it. There's no guys that are just like post-up guys or passing the ball across the paint. Like, that doesn't really happen. It's all very long passes, all swung around the perimeter, all driving kick. There's not a lot of nice ping pong around the inside of the paint, which is kind of satisfying to watch and impressive.
Impressive because it was so hard and necessary, maybe.
There should be a limit on threes. New rule, 30 threes a game. Once you hit 30, or when you take 30, no more.
No, that's terrible.
That would be so fire. Imagine
that
like
would be horrendous.
No,
that would
no,
be,
no.
That would be terrible.
No. Let me pitch it. So like imagine you have to be very strategic about when you use your attempts.
No.
I think that could be next eventually.
That's horrible. That's truly horrendous.
Imagine how funny it would be if a team was down 3, but they're out of 3-point attempts.
Yeah, that's awful. That's terrible.
So is fouling when you're up 3.
That is bad. Hate that.
Yeah.
Do hate that. That should be the next transition take foul rule. Getting rid of that. Last thing from RJ. Day after media day update, still no new images. Forgot to attach proof. Still no new images. Celtics got to get on it. I agree with you.
Jordan Walsh not having a new image is criminal.
That's bad.
The man did media day in the middle of the summer.
That's bad. That's real bad. But all right. Thank you guys for the emails as always. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Hit us up there. We appreciate
Maybe you want to sponsor us. Email.
Maybe you do. Getting into the NBA section. Sam, lead it off here. I thought this was from last show, but apparently there's been new development.
Yes.
About their hair situation. No.
So apparently the Miami Heat are none too pleased with Jimmy Butler, who, if you missed it, showed up to media day with straightened hair, with an emo look, I believe fake piercings. Is that something we discussed? And I was like, wow, he really went all in. And you were like, you're an idiot. Those are fake.
Well, he came out today and they weren't there. So I assume they were fake. I think they're fake. No, I think they're fake.
But anyways, there was a report from, I want to say, Grind City Media that said 98.9% of the Miami Heat organization was very uncomfortable with what Jimmy Butler did at media day.
That's such a random number.
I know.
Interesting.
I think that's a lame thing to get upset about. I think it's pretty funny. I think it's creative. Like, it's not even like he just showed up with the same thing as last year. It's like Halloween.
He said that. He said, this is my Halloween.
Oh, he did say that?
Yeah.
Well, now I see my original.
No, that's weird. I think it's funny.
They should suspend him. First two games of the season.
Of the playoffs. First 2 games of the playoffs.
We'll determine which playoff games.
Yes.
Yep.
Don't suspend him yet. Think about it for a while.
We're reviewing it.
Yeah, VAR.
Yeah. Stand by.
James Harden was at 76ers media day. Was not at media day, but did report to Fort Collins, Colorado after a day, late. But he's there. He's there now. And
respect.
He's there.
Showed up to work.
You did see a report from Bobby Kravitsky leaned over to me today and he said, how sad is it that Woj had to include that he caused no nonsense at practice? I think it would have been
more fun if he did cause nonsense.
I saw what I believe to be a fake report today that said James Harden did what Jimmy Butler did in Minnesota. He pulled the third stringers together and took on the starters. James Harden went down 21-3 and left practice. But it was fake. It's still funny. I don't know. It's just weird how the whole situation is playing out. I don't know what's happening. Also, since I said Woj, did you see the report today that said Woj and Shams are like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker?
Yes.
It's phenomenal. So funny.
I'm a big fan of that. I'm all in on that. I would love more. They should play into it.
Rivalries, yes.
Yeah.
Like the Athletic doesn't reference ESPN. ESPN doesn't reference the Athletic. It's very funny. But thoughts on James Harden at training camp? Just respect. Fine.
Yeah, good for you. You went to work.
Well,
and they should not trade him unless they get a good deal.
Is it respect or is it James Harden doesn't want to miss 30 days and not be able to go somewhere else next year? Because that's a new CBA rule.
Is that a thing?
If he misses 30 days next year, the 76ers retain control even after his contract is up.
I actually don't want him to show up.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think that would be really funny.
Keith Smith and Trevor Lane explained this on the Run Official pod. It's not 30 days. Like, he can't show up one day and not show up for 29. It's not consecutive. It's just 30 days throughout the season that he doesn't report or something.
All right, 29 left. Or 20.
Technically 29 left. No, because it starts after media day. Media doesn't count. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But next piece of NBA news. Reggie Bullock has signed with what contender? The Houston Rockets.
Very
Yay.
strange.
Keith and Trevor, again, for an official pod, speculated maybe because the details of the contract haven't come out, and the Rockets do have like their non-taxpayer MLE or something. They're like, maybe they just gave him a little more than a minimum, so it was just money. Just weird though, regardless of.
Well, Houston wants to compete. That's
they
no
do.
secret.
They want to be good. They want to be good.
They brought in Ime. They signed Fred VanVleet. They signed Dylan Brooks. They drafted 2 guys that were supposed to be top 5 picks.
I was just saying today, they have a bunch of vets that I didn't even know were on the team. Jeff Green, Boban Marjanovic is on the team. Now Bullock
Jeff
on the
Green
team.
with a shaved head.
Like, it's just weird seeing them. Also, DeAndre Jordan was getting on the Nuggets plane, and he FaceTimed Jeff Green and Ish Smith and just had them up during his media day pick. Very funny.
I like that.
But yeah, Reggie Bullock to the Rockets.
Speaking
Sam,
of
you
the
put
Nuggets.
this on the show. Nuggets, Lakers beefing. Fill me
Yeah.
in.
So the Lakers have had media availability this week, as have other teams. And a few of their players have taken the opportunity to be like, we see the Nuggets making fun of us. And they're trying to play up this opening night matchup. Austin Reeves said he was excited when he saw that they were playing the Nuggets on opening night. Probably as anybody would be when they have a chance to get back at the team that eliminated them. But
Sure.
I'm kind of sick of the Lakers like trying to play the victim or underdog card here.
Yeah.
Because one, they got swept by the Nuggets, and that's what happens when you get swept is you get made fun of. Two, they tried to, or not they, LeBron tried to like sweep the sweep under the rug by saying he might retire so people wouldn't talk about it. That was a lame move more than the Nuggets making fun of them. So go Nuggets. I hope they beat the piss out of the Lakers. Anthony Davis is a fraud. And we'll see what happens to them. I hope they have a very terrible season.
Yeah, there we go. I saw it briefly on Twitter. It's just weird how they're acting. Like, I saw some things like, yeah, I mean, you're the only team that didn't beat them in a game in a playoff series. Like no, they're the champions. Of course they're hyped, and of course they're talking trash. They won. That's what they get to do because they won. So
correct.
Just weird. Just weird. But also speaking of the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic is none too pleased, not happy about being back. There's photos of him entering Nuggets, and he's just sitting there like, oh, I got to go back to work. And they asked him, they said, was this the most fun you've had in an offseason? Was this the best offseason? And he goes, nah, it's like the opposite. We played for an extra 2.5 months, basically saying like, nah, I couldn't go home, man. I want to go home. And on the one hand, like, yeah, right. On the one hand, I get it. Like, he wants to be at home. Like he loves his home.
I want to be
like,
at home.
But just funny that like to hear an NBA player said, nah, bro, I want to go home. Like, get me out of this motherfucker. Although
the best part is because they won a title. Like he's not even like excited. He's like, whatever.
No. I will say the best moment ever though was when they won the title. He goes, I don't want to be on the parade. What the fuck? And then he gets to the parade and he goes, I fucking love the parade.
I love parade.
I love parade. And that was fire. In on Jokic. Love it.
Yep. Jokic has sneakily, despite not wanting to, one, soaked up the spotlight, and two, become probably the fan favorite in the NBA where everyone just relate because they like are like, damn, like I don't want to go to work either.
Yeah. Agree. All right, Sam. Shall we play who he played for?
We sure should. As we prepare for the new NBA season, let's figure out which guys are on teams that we didn't know, or maybe we did know because I got all of them last time.
You got all but one. You needed clues for a couple of them.
I still got them.
All right. Well, yeah, once you had it down to 5 teams narrowed down.
Listen, I got when Serge Ibaka was playing for Bayern.
All right, Sam. Let's start with Wesley Matthews, who he play for.
He's still on the Bucks, right?
Wrong.
Who do they have on the Bucks that's meant to be like the
Jay Crowder?
No, not Jay Crowder. Are we sure he's not on the
Malik
Bucks?
Beasley is who you're
That's
thinking
who it
of.
is.
Yep. Nope. Wesley Matthews, Sam. Where does Wesley Matthews play? Got his ass.
Is he out of the league?
He is not. He's in the league. I'm so glad I stumped you after you were so confident. The Hawks. He's on the Atlanta Hawks.
I would never have got that.
There you go. All right. I'm glad we stumped you out the gates. It makes me feel good after you just talked that trash and said I got him all last time.
I think I did.
Garrett Temple.
I'm really mad about this because I actually remember seeing Garrett Temple sign with this team, and I was like, damn, I didn't know Garrett Temple was still playing.
Got his ass.
But I
Let's
really...
go. Ooh, baby.
I want to guess... I'm going to guess New Orleans.
He was on New Orleans last year.
Okay.
But no longer.
Is he on the Raptors?
He is on the Raptors. Yeah. Yes, sir. Good call. Good call. He is on the Raptors. Okay. Next player. Darius Baisley. Who he play for? Oh, another inquisitive look.
Still playing.
He's like 23.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's good enough to still play.
All right. Is
he on the Nets?
Currently. He is on the Nets.
Yeah.
Yes. He is on the Nets. Good call. Okay, let's see. Patty Mills. Who he play for? Ooh. I came with the
He
heat
changed
today.
rosters, correct? He's not on the
He
Nets.
did. He was
Okay.
actually traded this summer. Who? Who he play for, Sam?
I want to say
for?
Atlanta.
He does play for Atlanta.
Yeah.
I tried to stop you going to Atlanta twice. He does, in fact, play for Atlanta.
I don't remember who was in the trade, but I think I remember him getting traded to the Hawks.
I think he was a part of the John Collins deal. But, no, maybe he wasn't. I don't remember. I just remember he went to the Thunder first, I think, and then he ended up going to Atlanta in the deal. And people thought he would get waived or traded, but he is still in Atlanta. All right, last one. I have Basketball Reference up.
Is he a Celtics
scouting.
buyout guy?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't hate it, but we'll see. Austin Rivers still waiting. Last one. Omer Yurtseven.
Utah.
Ooh, he is on Utah. Okay. That was a quick one.
He had the picture of him in the shirt.
Which are the terrible jerseys?
No, not the terrible jersey. Like he had some shirt,
Oh.
and Worldwide Wob was like, that shirt's cool. So I remember that.
Oh, I remember the shirt.
This is
all
like
right.
Slumdog Millionaire when the guy's answering all the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire questions, and you just see the backstory of how he knows it. It's just me scrolling through Twitter.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Thank you all for listening to NBA. Let's get into the Rat List. Sam, would you like to kick it off here?
Okay, yeah, I was gonna do this one on the Celtics Lab show.
Yes.
But I didn't know if it would hit, so I don't really care if I bomb on this show. Rat List, and this is a manipulated Rat List. Rat List Stranger Things, and here's why. One, Stranger Things is probably my favorite show ever. I think I've discussed me enjoying my life maybe more than ever last summer when I watched it for the first time.
Yeah, when you had COVID, right?
No, not when I had COVID.
Oh.
How on earth is there a show set in Indiana in the 1980s and there's no like nod to Larry Bird? Like you're telling me not one of these kids has like a Larry Bird jersey and is like, damn, like local legend.
Yeah, odd.
It does make me smile though, because I'm like, you know what? Like right now, Larry and the boys are holding it down.
In that time, yeah.
Yeah, in that time. I'm like, the Celtics fucking rule.
They're hanging out. They like it. Good Rat List. My Rat List today, I said it on Celtics Lab. I'm going to reiterate. Drivers suck. People can't drive, and it makes me angry. Today specifically, there was one lane, and then there's an enlarged bike lane because it's also like people can park on the side of the road. And a lady is waiting at a stoplight, and she just drifts into that lane. And so like I'm waiting a second. I'm like, is she stopping? Is she going? So I just go around her, and then I look at my back mirror, and she's just slowly pulling forward through the green light. That was a green light for like 30 seconds. And like the cars are stuck behind her, and she's just chilling. People just don't know how to fucking drive, and it pisses me off. And I'm a very angry driver, as I said in the Celtics Lab pod. And so I'm not a fan of driving. I'm not a fan of driving into Brighton or Boston or anything. And I have a lot of driving to do tomorrow because I have to pick up my sister in Boston as well. So I'm very upset. So tough.
Rat List Joe.
Oh no. What did Joe do?
In Rhode Island, this Friday, Topgolf is opening. Topgolf is opening in Cranston. Topgolf.
Cool.
This Topgolf will be the only Topgolf in New England. At least that's what I saw. I know Foxwoods has one.
Okay.
But it's not like a full-blown Topgolf.
Okay.
Okay.
Where is it opening?
Cranston.
Gotcha.
Joe says, should we go to Topgolf this weekend? And then I said, are you an idiot? That message was probably sent to 90% of group chats within Rhode Island and the surrounding areas. Do we want to go to Topgolf for the opening weekend? No. Why don't we wait until everybody and their mother doesn't want to do that thing?
He just wants to go do something fun with the fellas.
Yeah, he
Come
does.
on.
And I was just like, no. But
You're-
we
then
also
you're
have
the-
plans Friday. So also
okay.
bad.
Sure. Ratless the dentist. I have to go to the dentist tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I've never had a cavity, and I have to get one filled tomorrow, and I'm very upset.
Oh.
And
I know
I'm
I've
very...
done Finish your story. Sorry. I thought you were...
I'm a very anxious person and I don't like needles, but like I'm fine once it happens. Like afterwards, I'm like, all right, that wasn't that bad. But just the anticipation of it makes me very anxious. It's the same thing with planes and heights and stuff. Like it's all the anticipation of while I'm on the plane. Like once I get off and once I'm in the air, I'm like, okay, I'll be fine. But like the anticipation of it makes me like sick to my stomach. Hate needles. I am like constantly in my brain. I'm like, oh, tomorrow's gonna suck. Tomorrow's gonna suck. Tomorrow's gonna suck. And I'm trying to actively not think about it, but I am not looking forward to it because I know I know it's not gonna like kill me. I know it's not gonna hurt that bad, but I just know it's gonna be uncomfortable, and I know I don't like needles, and so I'm very upset that I have to go get a cavity tomorrow. So ratless the dentist out of the dentist.
Okay. I always say the best job you could ever have is a dental hygienist because you can take your day out on people, and it's their fault when they bleed.
You're a piece of shit.
It's true. They definitely could be like...
Not that you're wrong, but you're a piece of shit for telling me that when I just told you I'm nervous about going to the dentist.
Well, it's like you don't like bleed from your stomach because you don't do crunches. Like, I don't know. All right. What did I do? I did Stranger Things. Did I only do Stranger Things? No, I did Joe. Do I have
Poor Joe.
Another rat list?
I don't know how much more I have. I wasn't very upset the past few days. I've been busy. There's not much for me to be upset about. Outside of the call.
Yeah, I've been at home all week, so I haven't really been out and about.
I don't know.
Think. Sorry, guys. Short rat list today.
I'm trying to think if I have something else. There's got to be something I've been angry at. Like it can't have been all fine. I'll rat list my aunt's dogs again because I've been letting them out, as I've said multiple times. But now that I'm going somewhere, I'm going there and then leaving from there. So I have my like clothes that I'm going in on, and they love to jump on me. So I just go to the Celtics facility with paw prints on my shirt that I have to dust off. So that's not fun. I can ratless my. Oh yeah, this is good. Ratless my bank, kind of.
Okay.
My card got like shut off 2 days ago. I was just like, what is happening? And so like it just didn't work. It just got declined, whatever. I called them like, what the hell? And they're like, oh, you didn't respond to our potential fraud charge. I'm like, what is it? What we're recording on now actively is StreamYard. We pay yearly subscription to StreamYard, came off my card, and the bank shut off my card because I didn't approve it. I'm like, guys, it's a subscription service. Like this, this is something that happened. Like, what are we doing? So ratless Santander for making me call them, wait on hold for 30 minutes, and then finally get them to turn my card back on. Piss me off.
Rat list, any place you call that you have to press the button to talk to somebody.
Good call.
When I used to work in news, we would have to put in calls like if a police incident happened where there's like a car crash or a fire happens, you have to call the fire department. When you call the fire or police department, you have to press 1.
Yeah, that's bad. That's so bad.
Or whatever. And you get to know like which buttons to hit because you call them frequently enough. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, is when you don't get through to anybody and you have to keep doing it, it's pretty infuriating to hear the please press this button.
Imagine you're calling like somebody's in your house, like, help me. Please press 1 to get in contact with support.
Jack, you don't call 911 and get hit with a robo answer.
It's a joke. It's a joke. You're a piece of shit.
All right. Did I do the joke about, not joke, but story about when my credit card got frozen?
No.
So, one, I legitimately did, I don't know, 1 or 2 years ago, have somebody like take money from my account. I think I got it back.
You think?
And they were like spending money.
How significant was this amount of money?
All over. I don't know. Like, I truly don't remember.
Okay.
It was enough to where like we were like, what the hell? Like, why am I missing money?
Sure.
So prior to that, after that. No, prior to that. Sorry, bad storytelling. Prior to that, it's important. Prior to that, my bank card was frozen because I was going to the same Dunkin' Donuts and they were like, hey, a lot of money is being spent at this Dunkin' Donuts. Is everything okay? But when my credit card or my card was getting charged from Atlanta, then Texas, then LA and New York, that wasn't a problem. But if I was going to my local Dunkin', that's where your sirens go off, is when I do my routine thing.
Yeah, that's a good rat list. That's some rat behavior from your bank. I'll give you that. Very weird. That's all I got, though. I don't have any more rat lists. I think that just might have to be it for us.
I wish I more heavily believed in conspiracy theories. You know what? Perfect. Rat list AI.
Sure.
There is no reason why anybody needed to invent AI.
Uh-huh.
Have you not seen movies? Have you not seen Avengers Age of Ultron? Have you not seen, I don't know, name another one. That's the one I know. Where AI takes over the world.
iRobot.
Why are we toying around with this thing in the real world? And in using it at work. I had a work thing and they did like a presentation on AI. And I was
Yeah.
like, why are we doing this? I will not use it.
I got in trouble with something.
You sure did.
Didn't use it, but still got in the mix.
No need for AI.
Yeah.
And I'm very skeptical. The Creator movie, I think, is about AI. I haven't seen it yet.
I'll back you
There's
on
ads
it.
for
I
it.
don't really care. Yeah, it's weird. It's just odd.
You don't care. Fine, don't care.
No,
I'm apathetic about everything.
Not. I don't care in the sense that like I disagree with you. I don't care as like I don't know enough to like have a strong opinion. It's just weird. I don't like.
I'm very skeptical. I don't know anything either, but I don't like this.
Fair enough.
Quit using it.
Sam's decree. No more
Are
AI.
you fucking stupid, buddy? You just blowing from stupid town.
All right, we'll call it there. Thank you all for
there.
tuning in for another episode of How About Them Celtics. We appreciate you guys for watching and listening wherever you are. Keep tuning in throughout the season. We're here. We're amped up, like we said at the start of the show. Check us out on Playback. Check us out on Apple, Spotify. Leave us reviews. Leave us comments, 5 stars, all that good stuff. And leave a comment. Email us. All that stuff. Get in contact. We love interacting with you. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, bonus rat list, the heat. It's too fucking hot.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you're watching, you are on our YouTube or CLNS is one of them. Make sure you subscribe. If you're on ours, hit the notification bell. We're putting up stuff daily. And Jack's did all these things. He's posting shorts to the channels. So check those out too. They're pretty cool. You can also find us on Apple and Spotify. If you're there, you're enjoying the nice audio version of the podcast. Well, follow us. Leave a 5-star review. Say something nice about the fellas. We just said we like to talk to you. Maybe say you like listening to us. It evens out. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. Trying to get as much content there for you guys as we can, so it's worth following us there. You can follow Jack on Twitter at JackSmartNBA. He's doing a ton of work at Celtics blog. He has been an absolute hoss this week. And I'm trying my best too. You can find me at Sam LaFrance. That's it for us. Bye.